last time, last time with the, why is it looking so weird? With doing retopology is like, it's kind of complicated. So I'm gonna show like a different way, of doing, like, what is it called? Like UV unwrapping so that, for folks who are like, yeah, so that it could just be easier without like doing that like whole setup. Because I realize it's like that's a lot of work to do. Um, so actually, so yeah, um, here we have this basically character that we've been working on. I'm just going to join it. Actually, I'm just going to join it. So join, and then remesh. I think that looks fine. Okay, yeah. Remesh, hit apply. Um, yeah, as we talked about, right, it's like basically has like a lot of vertex count, right? So we want to bring it down. And easiest way of doing that is just decimate. So use a decimate modifier. And then I think so the goal is just to bring it down to definitely less than 100,000, right? So let's try to see with 0.04 what that brings us down to. It's gonna freeze for a bit. Fun stuff. Okay, so it's like 80,000. I think it's something that we can work with. Okay. So we just go and hit apply. Okay, cool. So just move this. And then I don't know how much y'all have like gotten to navigate these menus up here. So just basically just go to the UV editing workspace. So now you can see it's already in edit mode. Um, so yeah, like right now, like because we did the remeshing, like everything is in triangles. So we can try to, so it would be like very hard to select the continuous loop and then cut it that way. So what we're gonna do is, Blender has this nice function. So we like hit A to just select everything, and then UV, there's an option called Smart UV Project. Yeah, so like everything else, you can just kind of leave it the same. And then the island margin, I think just like put 0.01. Then yeah, so you just like the smart project just kind of like mapped everything out for you. And I mean obviously like this is not perfect. I'm gonna show you like another way of doing the UV unwrapping, but this is just, it basically just automates things and it makes it a lot easier. With this method, you just want to make sure that there's no overlapping vertices. And the way we do that is, so you go to select and select overlap. So you can see it highlighted these 2 points. So basically, you just want to go in there and fix it manually. I think, right, just looks like this vertex is overlapping. So we just hit G to just bring it out. And then, so we just do that again to bring up the other one, just here. Where the hand is, kind of. Yeah, so basically this just makes sure that the geometry aren't overlapping, because when it's overlapping and you're doing the texture painting, it's gonna look weird. Um, so yeah, I think it looks fine. Just do the same thing. Okay, so basically, yeah, now you have like unwrapped UVs. It's not perfect, like I said, it's just like a quick and dirty way of doing it. And then we hit tab to get out. We can just try to see real quick. We go into the shading menu. So this is the workspace, the node space for creating textures. So we go here and just create a new texture. In a lot of 3D software, it's called BSDF, Principled BSDF. So that's just the name of the texture. And then, so I think, yeah, as you can see, I mean, I'm gonna go over what the, I guess like the main aspects of texturing. But before doing that, I just want to show like a different, I just want to show another thing about UV unwrapping. So in here, I just like created this thing. I guess it's like paratenticle, whatever, like adage. I'm just gonna show this, like for those of you, like I guess if you've like created hair, clothing, like other elements in addition to like the character's body. I just want to show how to do like kind of like proper UV unwrapping. Uh, yeah, so this is basically, it's just like a very simple like box geometry modeled in the same way that I showed you prior. And I added subdivision, so you can see it's has more geometry. And okay, so we go to UV editing on here. Oops. Over here. Yeah, so bear with me a little bit. This is like gonna take a little bit of time. So if we look at this geometry, I guess it's like a way to think about it is like if you think about these as like um a pant or like a sleeves of your like top. So basically a way to thinking about unwrapping it is like you would cut it along a loop here, right? And then like you think about the seams on like the on your clothing. So you cut it along a loop here, um, for these tentacle things, and then you would cut like basically cut another loop around it so that like the geometry can actually unfold. So um, so I think with this one, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and select the loops in geometry and just show you how to mark the seams. So it's Shift Alt. So like Alt is to select the whole loop, right? And Shift Alt to continue selecting. So that is, I think for this one, it should be this. Okay. Here. Okay, so have all these groups selected. So we go to UV. There's a mark seam. So it turned red, so that means the seams are marked. And then I think I'm gonna do one along like a here. Actually, no. I just want to find one that cuts it across. So do some experimenting. And while I do this, feel free to ask any questions. It's just gonna take a little bit of time. Just trying to just trying to find a loop that cuts it across without it going into the tentacle parts. But let's see. How does this one look? Oh, looks like they're all connected. So I'm just gonna do maybe this first. Easier to go into actually wireframe mode. Deselect this. Actually, just for the sake of time, I'm not gonna do this whole thing, but okay, so basically this whole loop is selected and then we can go to UV, mark seam. So basically like this tentacle thing is done. And you wanna just like do it for all the rest. But it's the same idea that applies to all the all the geometry for UV unwrapping. And yeah, I'm not gonna do the rest because it's like it's all the same idea. And it's like I can't find one that's yeah, so like basically I would have to manually just like create a seam like along here, for example, just like to I would just cut across it to create like do something like connect it all the way to the top and then mark the seam. Um, but anyway, so like when you after you like marked out like all the seams, you can just go to UV unwrap. Hmm, maybe it didn't do it because it's not huh. Okay, so let's do it again. Yeah, okay. So I mean these ones, they're not like properly marked out, right? That's why it unwrapped this way. But that's not going to work. But this one is properly unwrapped. Because you can see that it's like basically cut on the seam here and then across here. So yeah, I'm just going, yeah, I think that's just that part of the just wanted to show that with UV unwrapping. But anyways, so I'm going to talk quickly about I'm just gonna show us how to do texture painting in Adobe Substance Painter. I mean, it's like with all this, you can try to do it in Blender. You're gonna have to do it in like texture paint. I just personally find it like a lot easier to work with Substance Painter. Because you know, in here, like can do oh, did I create the shade? Can sort of do it. But it's just like uh yeah, it's just easier to do it in Substance. So I'm going to just quickly show how to bring that in. Actually, I'm just going to okay, so create a new file. think just leave the template as PBR metal roughness. So maybe we'll bring the resolution up to 2048, and then select the file. I've already exported the character. Oh, I forgot to say, so I guess you have to export the character. So I'm just gonna show that real quick. And then it has to be, so like you have to do this process after it's been UV unwrapped. So remember we did the smart UV project thing here. So yeah, otherwise it's not going to work. But okay, so export, we'll export as a FBX, right? So leave everything the same and do selected object type mesh. Yeah, so basically the same thing. I've already done it before. So so back in here, we bring up character texture paint, auto unwrap. I think everything else we can just leave the same. I'll discard it. Start a new project. So yeah, now we have the mesh here in Substance Painter, and you can see the this is like the UV islands that it's auto detected and brought in. Yeah, so like Substance Painter works a lot like Photoshop and other Adobe software that you haven't used it. Basically works with like layering, creating different layers, and then masking, masking, and then like you can use different types of overlay, like normal, multiply that you can play with. So yeah, and then I guess a way that I would like to think about texture painting is like, I guess it's like what kind of style that you're trying to go for. Because it's like if you're trying to go for a pretty realistic, you know, skin texture, then obviously there's like it's much more complicated and there's a lot more layers. And you want to be looking at like reference images, right? For like skin, um, subdermal, like epidermal, whatever, like it's good to look at like exaggerated imagery for skin. So I'm gonna walk through a little bit of how like I've done that. But obviously, you know, if you're working with something more like fantastical, you know, it's like you don't have to adhere by those guidelines. But yeah, so typically, so I would start by like creating like a new layer, a new fill layer. So this is like a, oops, the fill layer basically down here you can, it has all the parameters. So basically, yeah, so if it's this color, then you know, it would start with, okay, we start with something mm, like red, I guess, for blood. And then like here you can go and go ahead and create like a mask. So a black mask is, you know, it just masks everything out. And then you just proceed by painting on the mask to reveal the paint layer underneath. Um, so here over here, you know, you have all the presets. And you know, you can like, I mean, we're on the pen section right here, and you can just play around with these textures. But we're going to go into the brush, and just like maybe start with, usually the ones I use the most are cotton and dirt. Start with dirt. Yeah. So this is a way that you can start painting on the tech on the character. Um, Actually, I'm going to select geometry. Okay, I'm gonna mirror Z. So now it's gonna do the mirroring on both sides, and it's gonna be a lot easier. Okay, so let's see. Um, think I'm just going to maybe select a darker red underneath. Just actually just leave that, delete the layer. Oops. How do I just delete the actually I'm just gonna do another one. Just kind of leave this and then create another layer. Add black mask. Um, so yeah, in the first layer, we're gonna think mostly about like blocking out some like basic colors and like a way to think about it is yeah, so you have like kind of like the blood um underneath like the blood layer, and then can do something like yellow, yellow to, so this would be used to paint like to simulate like bones underneath the skin, because the boniest parts are going to look yellow. So and then it's like the left and right brackets to adjust the brush size. Just kind of um, yeah, just like paint over it, just focused on places that it's going to be the boniest. Yeah, and like the more complicated the painting is, like the more intricate, like the you see the texture is gonna show up as. So you just kind of wanna like break it up. And there's again, like there's like so many tutorials you can find for like doing this kind of stuff, whatever effect that you want to achieve. And okay, so the chin a bit more. And maybe I switch to a cotton brush. Um, I want to get somewhat of a coverage so that the red is broken up. Yeah, there's like a lot that you can achieve by just simply painting. Um, okay. Okay. And then Next thing you can think about is like we can do like a layer of blue. Do like a layer of so there's gonna be blue tints on the skin. Like usually it's pretty much in the like places where hair grow. So you know you're gonna have like the chin area, which is why with like I guess like older people, sometimes you're gonna have like the those areas becoming more pronounced because the skin is thinner. Um, so yeah, it's basically just like adding a cooler tone, like hair follicles, and also a little bit around the eye. And then up here, you can adjust like the flow, like so this gives more resistance. So when you're laying down the paint, it's like it's laying down less. And then here is like opacity. So like all of these things you can just like play with. Um, around the eye a little bit more. Some down here. You know, a lot of times it's like it sort of becomes like just this way to break up the skin, and it's like you can just really do whatever that you want. Um, I like to kind of like make up rules as I go along. Like, okay, you know, like maybe here is where the character grows like hair on different parts of the body. So I'm just gonna lay it down wherever. So yeah, and then we can just do like we can do another purple layer. Like that. Also just around the mouth area. So yeah, you get the idea. You know, you can just like kind of you just start like lay down the layers of colors and then using different textured brushes. Oops. And then obviously like looks very exaggerated right now. And what we can do is and now like once you're done with like kind of like so these are the textures underneath that's going to seep through the main layer. We're gonna create the main layer. Uh, so it's like now you decide, oh, what is the main color of the skin is going to be. So I'm just gonna do just to be a normie and do like a regular something like that. Okay. So say we're gonna go with this like beigey color. So now we're just going to make the brush size real big, and then we can turn down the flow a little bit. And then, yeah, just like start laying down. I guess it's like sort of like covering it with foundation. Um, Yeah, so this might with this like kind of like hand painting technique, it's just you can quickly get down uh something that looks like skin variants and that type of thing. But I mean, if you're going with like a stylized character, maybe you don't even care about any of this. This is just like again one way of doing the skin painting. You can go for something like a lot more stylized. Um, notes. Uh, okay. So yeah, can basically just, it's like sort of like oil painting or just painting in general. You can keep laying down the layers in here and like usually yeah, and then in here you can adjust like the opacity level, if you did too much or too little, you can play around with that. And then like so I guess yeah, this is the first layer, and then typically I would like to just go in and like add another, so kind of like do the same thing, like with like the blue, with the red, yellow and blues, and just keep layering that down. So it just like it helps with like the um realism. That's what you're going for. And yeah. And just the more you paint on it, like the more it's gonna show through. You can do something like capillaries, like veins. In that case, you can just choose something like you can just do the basic hard or get that to be really small. Say, hmm, go for like a blue vein. Um, yeah, you can just like go and look at references for what veins look like. Obviously, yeah, I'm not very good at anatomy, but you can just like do things like this. I mean, of course, it doesn't have to be veins, could be anything. Um, and then yeah, just like keep drawing, and then what you can do is do another layer of like layer this like copy this layer, for example, right here. Um, you can see that it's already um yeah, so you can like mask out like what's too prominent underneath by doing this. And then you can also use like this is like the rubber eraser tool. Like say we go, you can just like erase out wherever whatever places that's um too covered up, you know. So yeah, it's kind of like the basic idea of painting. And then if you wanted to do something that's a little bit more like not organic, can do say we want like some lipstick or like nail color, metallic nail color. Same thing, like, and then we can go in here and you can look at like so these are like it's fun like playing with like the presets. So like maybe we want this aluminum metallic color. So we can just bring that into here. Oops, keeps doing that. Oh, maybe it's because this is like a material texture. Okay, how about this? Okay, so yeah, so you can select the substance materials here. And as we go down, and we can adjust the color. Attributes. Yeah, anyways, and you can change the colors and everything. And then go back to brush settings. Maybe this is can try to do a basic soft. Huh, why is it not doing that? Delete that, do it again. Oh no, it's because I deselected that. Okay, so why is it not? Oh, it's because I'm in eraser mode. Okay, never mind. Back to paint. But yeah, I mean, this is like a way that you can just lay like and do whatever you want with this. And then another thing that you can play with is height. So say like, I don't know, you want to do some kind of embroidered looking tattoo on top of the character. Okay, do let's see, maybe actually we'll just select like a color. Maybe we'll do this blue. And then select a brush. Try this chalk thing. Oh, I don't like this chalk. Think just gonna go with the basic heart. Yeah, do whatever drawing thing that you're into. I really like the symmetry. Really does a lot. Yeah. So anyways, so once you painted it, you can go in here. And then with the height, you can adjust it. So you can kind of create the appearance that it is kind of going inwards or outwards. And when we export the textures, it's going to show through like that. Okay, I think I'm just gonna maybe add some eyebrows. There's a search for hair. It's like one called hairlines. Try this one out. Okay, so maybe I want it to be maybe like red, like green, darker green. It's very subtle. Okay, very weird. Yes. Yeah, obviously, I mean, like the resolution of the model, how the resolution of the texture, it affects how it looks. And we're working with something that's a little bit more low poly, so you can see the effects. But yeah, there's a lot that you can do there. Why can't I do that? Anyway, so once you've gotten the texture paint to a place that you're happy with, you can just like go ahead and export it out. So I'm just gonna show you real quick how that's done. So go to File and Export Textures. And then yeah, it's the same thing, PBR metallic roughness. Go to the output templates. You can just select PBR metal roughness. And then if you go to list of exports, so it's going to give you base color. Base color is the paint, is the color only. Emissive is light. I mean, we don't really need this. We didn't do anything with it. Height, metallic, normal, roughness. Yeah, so, and then we just specify where the output directory is. So I'm just gonna put it, and just put it where, just do a folder. Okay, so and just hit export. And then I'm just gonna show quickly how to bring the textures back into Blender. So let's go. Okay, so I did create a texture. Call this character. Okay, so to bring it in, we want to make sure that this setting called Node Wrangler is enabled. Oops. So that's just something that makes it easier to bring textures in. Let's go to Edit, Preferences, Add-ons, search for Node Wrangler. See, it's already enabled. Check it again. And then, so yeah, now we're back in the scene in the shading menu. This is the node tree for the materials. What we can do is, I believe is Control-Shift-T. Okay, yes, Control-Shift-T. And then so go into the folder that you just created with the textures. Select everything. So yeah, So Node Wrangler is really great because it automatically organizes everything for you. So we can just look real quick at what the textures are. So the base color, basically got this is the image map. You hit Control Shift click. It just allows you to preview what each texture looks like. Metallic, it only is the lips because we added metallic to the lips. Roughness, didn't really do anything with the roughness. Displacement map is basically, it's like the height map. So you added, you can see a little bit of it in the drawing here because we added height to it. Normal, yeah, but the height is going to show up in normal map. But yeah, basically, this is how you do the yeah, just like texture painting substance loaded into Blender. And yeah, let's see. I could go into other texturing stuff inside of Blender, but maybe we can take some questions if folks have any, or we have a little bit of time. So if you want to show me what you've been working on, we can do that too.